Alright folks, we're going to talk about fishing wing dams today from a bank angler's perspective. Well, first of all, let's kind of explain what a wing dam is. Like a normal dam expands the entire section of the river. A wing dam or an L dike only goes halfway out, and they're designed to displace sediment in really swift current, so you don't get all the sediment built up on the bank. Now, as far as fishing these things, there's a bunch of different ways to fish them, and I'm going to kind of go over how I fish them. But let's talk a little bit more about the wing dam. These things are a whole ecosystem in themselves, because you have all this rock and everything, and it's a nursery. Like in the spring of the year, during the summer, all sorts of different species of fish will spawn, and the fry will end up coming around these wing dams that tuck into all these little rock crevices and everything. And I'll kind of show you a little bit more why that is. But now, for the wing dam, you have at the end of a wing dam, you'll have what they call a scour hole, and that is caused by the water sweeping around the corner of this dike. And a lot of times, sometimes it'll be right at the head of the dike, sometimes it'll be a little further down, depending on how the dike's laid out. And what is a scour hole? It's where the river basically trenches out a big hole in the bottom of the river, shaped of a bowl. And these catfish love to lay in those scour holes. They'll lay right at the lip, and they'll smell like the bait, or like bait fish coming to them, and they'll just pop up out of the hole, grab the bait, and drop back down into that scour hole to stay out of the current. It's basically a current break for them, and they can just sit there and just get fat and sassy. Now, on these wing dams, you're going to have two different current seams. You have your outer current seam out here, which is off the edge of this on the down river's going down river here. So you have a seam, that's your outer seam, and then you'll have a secondary seam, which will water from the inside of the dike, because there'll be a big eddy a lot of times. It'll sweep around, and you'll have a secondary seam. Now, the way I fish both those, I throw a line directly on the outside seam, because there'll be like a little current break on the side of that seam. Those fish will lay right in that seam and just pop in and out of that current on both sides. So I have a rod positioned on your outer seam, one on your inner seam, and I have one rod, that's the rod that's sitting in the middle, is actually off in the edge of the scour hole. Now, the way these dikes, like I said, the current flows around. This is an L dike, and you can see the current sweeping down through here, and these are just amazing place to fish. I'll be honest, it's easier as a as a boat angler to fish these things, because you can kind of set up, use your graph, kind of see where the scour hole is. As a bank angler, it's a little tougher. And I will tell you this, folks, not all wing dams are created equal. Some of them will be absolutely amazing place to fish, and others will just be dead. I don't know why that is. I have several wing dams I've tried over the years and can't catch crap, but I have others that are pretty consistent. But also, that being said, every time the river floods, these wing dams are going to change. The scour hole position may change out in the front of the dike, so you're just going to have to fish it until you get it figured out. And we were talking about the nursery thing and all the fish. All right, so on your wing dam, you also have your dead water. Cause that L like swing around there, and this is all dead water right here. And guys, there are just thousands and thousands of Asian carp stacked in behind this thing, as well as other rough fish. Buffalo, carp, drum, channel cat will come in here and feed. I typically don't fish this dead water for the simple fact that it is a gar haven. There's a lot of gar will usually pile up in these things, so I don't fish it. But now, flatheads will get along the edge of these wing dams on the outside, from not on the current side, but on the opposite side, along the edge of these dikes. A lot of times, when you just throw a live bait or a cut bait along the side of the wing dam, it's a really good place to catch flatheads. But typically, when I'm fishing these wing dams, I am targeting blue cat. Blue cat are a current-oriented species. Because a lot of times, like I said, you got to figure out like where your scour hole is, and you'll just have to play around and figure out where they lay. Sometimes they'll be right on top of the wing dam, sometimes they'll be out a little bit. And you guys have watched my videos, you see my big longer rods. Typically when I'm fishing a wing dam, I use these shorter rods. I'm not having to cast as far, but I will bring one long rod a lot of times, especially like I got a dike straight down the wing dam, straight down there. I'll take that long and launch a bait, because there'll be an eddy where that water is hitting that wing dam and swirling, and that's another good place for them fish to lay. So I'll take that long rod and launch a bait way out there, and sometimes I'll use just a lighter weight so I can bounce my bait down in there. All right, let's talk gear a little bit. When I'm fishing wing dams, I do not use braid. I use strictly monofilament because of the rocks. And my main line, I typically always run 40-pound Berkley Big Game as my main line, and Andy leader for my 80-pound leader for my leader line. Now my rods, these are Mad Cat rods for 7.6, and these rods are rated for 20 ounces of weight. The reels, I have Ancient Mariner 6000 series reels I'm running today. And you need a rod with a medium heavy or heavy backbone to fish these wing dams, because you're in a lot of current. I'm on the Mississippi River, but if you fish the Missouri River or any major river system, typically you're going to be in swift current when you're fishing these wing dams. And on the light side, I'll run 8-ounce weight on the light side, and I have used up to 16 ounces of lead off these wing dams, depending on the time of the year with the river flow. The river is down right now, so I'm only running about 10 to 12 ounces right now, and the river's going to continue to drop, and then I will also decrease my weight. And guys, when the river is high and flooded and these wing dams are covered, let's go back to the base of the wing dam. You have the base of the wing dam up here. That water will rush over the top of that during high water. I won't sit on the dike. I will position myself on that bank and throw out to this wing dam, because the water will be breaking off, causing like a barrel effect, and the bait will just be laying there, and them catfish, they can stay out of the current. So even during high water, these things are really effective places to fish. And guys, wing dams are just not a summertime type of deal. Wing dams will hold fish all year round, guys. Winter, summer, spring. Like I said, you just gotta put the time in and find out which ones are effective. And sometimes there's some wing dams that are not productive during the summer, spring, fall months. But then you will go and find a wing dam in the winter that you'll absolutely hammer them. And what I look for in the winter time is, once again, I go back to this part of the wing dam, and I will look for wing dams that have a low spot, a really low spot where the water has rushed over that, and that will cause a scouring hole, a big scour hole. This one don't particularly. Now there is a little bit of a low spot right here, but this wing dam don't really have it. And I will look for those spots, and there will be a big deep depression. In the winter, the blues will stack up in there. So guys, if you guys have any questions, like, just hit me up in the comments. I know this is kind of a rough video. I'm out here fishing. It's hotter and crazy out here, hotter all get out, so I'm sweating. But guys, I hope this little video will kind of help you out with the wing dams. You know, like, if you have any questions, get a hold of me. But something else I want to bring up too. A lot of times on these current seams, there will be skipjack, moon eye, feeding on the current seam, because like I was talking about earlier, all the fry will be out there in the base of this wing dam. They'll swimming around, kind of standing out on this current bank, and all those moon eyes, skips will be out there, and you can take a light action rig and a lot of times catch a lot of good bait. Then if your state allows it, bring a snagging hook on the inside up here in the slack water, and you can probably snag an Asian carp pretty quick for bait. And typically the baits I use, this time it's getting into be September, I'm using common carp, buffalo, and skipjack. That's the primary baits that I use in my section area. I'm in the Midwest here in the Mississippi River, and that's the baits that worked really, really well for me. So guys, get out there and find you some wing dams if you have them in Section River. And please, please, please be careful, because these rocks are extremely treacherous. Because I got to walk all through there. So make sure you have comfortable footwear, something that if the rock rolls, you're not going to freaking fall down the side of the dike. And I have seen it. I have done it. I've rolled off the top of the thing off in the river before. So with that being said, also let somebody know where you're going to be. So be careful. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully with another big catch video or another tip video. Y'all have a good one.